Hey everyone, nice to see you this evening. I am doing an impromptu live. It's not planned. I have no idea what I'm going to say. This is the first time I've ever gone live without having an idea of what was going to be talked about. And it was not scheduled. So, as some of you know that are going to be trickling in that might be watching the replay, Kevin over at Kick and Addiction just had his weekly Wednesday meeting. Hey, whoever just came in. And the thought came up that, hey, maybe we might want to continue the party and keep it going, keep the energy going. It was a great meeting. I really enjoyed seeing the interview that Gonzo. Hey, Alex, how are you doing? Hey, and you weren't even over there at Kickin' Addictions Live. So, to give you an update on what just happened, we were having a meeting over at Kevin at Kickin' Addictions channel, and it was a great meeting. We were having a good time over there. So we were like, why don't we just keep the momentum going and if somebody wants to do a live. So I had no plan on coming on today. I have no idea what to talk about. I'm just hoping that as we continue through this lovely journey of a Wednesday evening, that we can enjoy each other's company. So, hey, whoever just came in, nice to see you. So, Alex, hey, Tala, nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. And Gonzo, all right. So, the party has started. Well, the party started earlier, but let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. How was the beach? Alex says. The beach was amazing. Did you see the short that I posted, Alex? It was heavenly. It's been a couple months since I've been to the beach. And I gotta say that I didn't expect to feel so grounded, so, and so energized all at the same time, if that even makes sense. Yeah, how can you be grounded and energized at the same time? But that's what the beach does for me on a good day. And it was a good day. Oh, Gonzo says, thank you for having the after party. Absolutely my pleasure, Gonzo. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I really enjoy spending time with you here. Always great, Tara. Just chat. All right, I'm gonna do my best, Gonzo. I'm gonna do my best, and we'll just see where the journey takes us this evening. Marky in the house, Kimmy in the house, Slow-mo in the house. The party is continuing. This is excellent. This is excellent. I was just telling Alex, and Tala came in for the end of it. For everyone who just joined, I have no plan about this evening. I had no idea that I was going to come on here. So in the past 2 lives I've done, I've had a bit of an idea of what I was going to talk about, had a loose plan, but I don't have that tonight. So we are completely improv right now, and I need a drink. It's water. It's water. Relax. So most of you were in the meeting just now, but I want to know who's going to participate in Kevin's 1 year without a drink challenge. Alex, is that up your alley? Is that something you're interested in? Because I think you're the only one who wasn't there, unless you were ghost listening. Alex, you saw the short. Right on, right on. It was a little slow and long, I think, for YouTube shorts, but I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah, Alex, where have you been? We've been missing you. Kimmy's phone keeps adding words. I'm pretty sure that technological things like that only happen, Kimmy, when you and I are trying to connect. It's like there's something in the universe that's like, Let's make them work for it. Marky wants to know if I brought the bag with me. Marky, I always have bags for me. I'm always ready for an adventure. Slow mo, I think I said hi to you. I'm pretty sure I said what's up, slow mo, because I saw you come in. Chilling like a villain. Kimmy, what's your favorite villain? What's all of your favorite villains? Mine is, gosh, that's hard to pick a favorite. How do you pick a favorite villain? I'm trying to think. How do I answer that question? Like, do you pick the villain that you hate the most? Like, or do you pick the villain that you, trying to think if there's a villain that ever turned good in the end? That's who I would pick. But I can't think of one. Is that a weird question to pick a favorite villain? That seems kind of dark. Alex has been rocking that overtime in the greenhouse. That's right, because you girl, oh my God, I have a story for you. Let me get caught up and I'm going to tell you a story if you want to hear a story. Just happened today. I cannot believe it. I'm kind of tripping out about it. Not literally, but figuratively. I better write it down so I don't forget. I need more water. Yeah, Alex, it's nice to see you here. I'm glad you're here, man. Oh, it just skipped. Tala's participating. I think slow mo. I know Marky said he was going to do it. Kimmy's out. Yeah, slow mo for 2024. Is that what the deal was? It starts. I mean, I'm not going to be drinking anyway, but I just am curious. Like, one of the dates? Is it that makes it easy? If it's just 2024, midnight, January 1st to midnight, January or December 31st until midnight. That makes sense. Yeah, Gonzo, you haven't had a drink in 4 years. Oh, and I missed something. So yeah, slow mo's down. Oh, Alex, I missed your comment too. 1 year without a drink, maybe after the company party this Friday. Yeah, Alex, it sounds like we're going to be doing it. 2024 will be, we got to coin it something clever. I don't know. I can't think of anything right now, but just no drinks in 2024. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated. I feel like something needs to be said about support because for me personally, granted, like I've had a drinking problem in my past. I haven't had a drink in over 3 years. I realized in Kevin's stream today. It's been actually I remember the day. It was October 18th of 2020. That was the day of my last drink. So it's been over 3 years since I had it, and it was only two. It was 2 shots of tequila, and it was like 6 months that I hadn't had a drink before that. Anyways, what I'm trying to say to you is that it can be hard, even if it's like maybe I'm biased because I had a drinking problem, but it can be hard, and I think it's important to lean on each other for support when we get tempted. because there will be temptations, and I think it's good to know ahead of time that maybe there won't be. Like I said, I'm biased because I had a drinking problem. Yeah, Alex, you're welcome to join us. Tala just commented on the beach short. Right on. Thank you, Tala. I appreciate that. It had been months since I'd been to the beach. So that was a really nice time. So yeah, Gonzo says it'll be easy for him. He hasn't had a drink in 4 years. Fent was Fent was his problem. Okay, Gonzo. So I can relate to not having had a drink for a long time because, like I just said, it's been over 3 years since I've had a drink, which is mind blowing to me. Alcohol has been an issue for me, though. So we are similar and individual in our own ways on that one. I drink, oh God, I used to drink so much alcohol. It actually makes me sick thinking about what I did to my body back in the day. As someone who like is really careful about what I put in and to stay hydrated and take care of myself and all, it's like I can't believe what I used to put into my body. So glad I don't do that anymore. Okay, I need to darn it, I lost my spot. Alex naturally doesn't drink as it is. That's nice, Alex. So you don't have to kick anything. Smart. You're smart. King Tala says, first time drinking Logan Paul's Prime Energy drink, and now I'm amped. I didn't even know Logan Paul had a Prime Energy drink, but that's pretty smart of him. I wonder what's in that. What is this your? Oh, it is. You said first time. It's your first time. Did it taste good? I roll with the villains. Kimmy says, "Yeah, me too. Sometimes gets me in trouble." Slomo likes the Prime drinks. I'm curious about this drink. I want to know what's in it. Marky doesn't like the Primes. I think Alex means he drinks the Primes. Nice bang for the buck. Okay, so they're affordable. That's also smart. A story, you say? Yeah, a story. I wrote it down. I'm so glad I wrote it down because I'd be like, what was that story? Yeah, let me just get caught. Well, I'm almost caught up. Lime is delicious. Lime things, I like putting fresh lime in water, but lime flavored things kind of freak me out a little bit. I don't know why. It's kind of like blue drinks. When I did drink alcohol, blue drinks freak me out. I don't know why. I've never liked blue drinks. I was never a foo-foo. Even today, like with coffee, I go to start, I'm not a foo-foo drink kind of girl. No disrespect to the foo-foo drinkers. Oh, now Kimmy's talking about coffee. I wonder if I have some coffee. Kimmy, did you not have the normal amount of coffee that you had today? I get the worst headaches if I don't have coffee. I only drink 2 cups a day, but if I don't, and if I don't, like I could drink hot cocoa instead of coffee and not get a headache. That might be something, Kimmy. Like maybe a cup of hot cocoa might be delicious and help with your headache too. And it's got less caffeine. But if you're craving coffee, drink the coffee. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm just saying those are the thoughts that came to my mind. Gonzo says it'll help. Oh, Reigns. So Reigns are different than okay, so it's a different drink. I'm not an energy drink girl. I'm a coffee girl. Yeah, Marky. Okay, caffeine helps with mine. I'll have to remember that next time. I know I get withdrawal headaches for sure, but I don't, thank God, I don't normally get headaches unless it's a caffeine withdrawal headache. Then will you be able to fall asleep? Gonzo, Kimmy drinks coffee super late. She'll drink coffee at, well, it is getting late there. Yeah, this is if she I think if Kimmy's gonna make the coffee, she's probably already in the process of making it, and this will be her last cup. She'll be able to fall asleep based on what I've heard her talk about before. Sugar-free Red Bull kind of guy. Okay. Yeah. I say yeah. I don't yeah, like that's right on for you. That seems right up your alley. I drink black coffee. I'm super plain Jane when it comes to coffee, not when it comes to personality. Yeah, Kim, I knew it. I knew it. And she wrote that before I said that. So she says, damn it, okay, let me make some. Kimmy's having her coffee right now. It's literally 8:30. Okay, yeah, there's a 3-hour difference. A little later than she normally does it. I think I've heard Kimmy talk about how 7:30 is like her cutoff for coffee, but she's got a headache. So you know what? A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. It's not the worst thing that like that she could be doing, you know. You know. Just coffee for me. Yeah, Gonzo, I'm on the same page with you there. Just coffee, black. Although those bulletproof coffees are pretty darn good. I skipped some comments again. It keeps skipping, like it jumps on me. It's like, how do you stop it from jumping? It skipped a lot. It went. Okay, so I'm back. I'm almost back. Got it. Okay. I think Alex is asking Slow Mo if he still grabs the energy drinks. Have to bounce around the flavors. It's a little meh on the flavors after a while, you know? Mm, as in life, we got, variety. They say, Alex, that variety is the spice of life. That's what they say anyway. I tend to agree with that. I like switching up my coffee type. It's like, gosh, I tend to buy the same kind of coffee. I like the Colombian kind for different reasons. I'm just making a note really quick. And it's nice to try a different type of coffee once I've had the same type of coffee for several weeks. It's like refreshing. Refreshing is not the right word. It's like, how do I explain it? What's a good word for that? What's the word I'm looking for? Not energizing, not refreshing. It's like, I don't know, just something comes over you when you have a new flavor of something, when you kind of got sick of the one that you've been having. I know what you mean, Alex. That's what I'm trying to say. Gonzo, yep, 4 years. Alcohol is easy for me, and I didn't even quit drinking. I just haven't had the urge or crave to drink nor miss it. A lot of opioid addicts don't drink. I think it's the MAT drugs Yeah, that's an interesting observation, Gonzo, and I think you're blessed really to not have to struggle with both. You know, like I c- I can't imagine having to struggle with both alcohol and opioid withdrawal at the same time. That would just be too much. Kimmy's Keurig isn't working? Oh no. Could you a cowgirl brew? You know how to a cowboy coffee? I call it a cowgirl coffee. You could do that if it's not working. I feel like I drank a gallon of milk if I sip a beer now. Ooh, that sounds heavy. The MAT kills that. Oh, the alcohol. Okay. Suboxone is used off label for alcoholism. Really? I didn't know that. Suboxone's used off label for alcoholism. That is news to me, Gonzo. Gonzo, I really enjoyed your interview, by the way. It was fantastic. Really good job. You're very brave for going up and sharing your experience impromptu like that. Marky says, it's not the arrow, it's the Indian behind it, Kimmy. I don't get it, Marky. It's not the, for the Keurig, her Keurig isn't working. Have Slomo hasn't had rain in a couple years. He had to lay off the caffeine. Yeah, I can relate. My nurse practitioner didn't like. I was drinking 5 cups of coffee before I started on mental health medication. So now I'm down to 2 cups of coffee a day. My nurse practitioner is much more happy with me. I couldn't get out of bed. I literally couldn't get out of bed unless I had 5 cups of coffee, but no more. Kevin's in the house. Be ghost listening. I'll do my best to entertain you while you're pumping the iron, Kevin, working out those boulders of the shoulders that you got. Marky says he's a caffeine junkie. I think that's such an interesting word, junkie. Some people think it's so taboo and stigmatized. And then, like, I had a roommate, I lived in shelters for a few years, and I had a roommate who was addicted to, she said it was heroin, but I believe that she was a fentanyl intravenous user, also on methadone at the same time. She's very deep into her addiction. And I just lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, the word junkie. She loved that word. She told me she loved it when people used the word junkie. She wore it like a badge of honor. So whenever people say, I'm just a junkie, it's like, not everybody thinks that that's a bad thing. Some people wear that like a badge of honor. And personally, I think people who get clean and sober, like if you can go to junkie, and I say that, I use that word not out of disrespect, but like out of love. I think of my roommate, my last roommate that I had was an active user, and um, I just loved her. She was such a great soul. And I think people who actually take the time and spend the energy to get clean and sober, we're warriors. I think everyone in here is a warrior in our own right. Like, you are a warrior. Keep up that hard work. Gonzo says he wasn't much of a drinker, even in the military. Opioids, on the other hand. Yeah, Gonzo, I don't know if you caught it earlier, but thank you for your service. A few of us dropped it into the chat, and I really appreciate you defending us like that. Slomo had a roommate that was a functional alcoholic. It's tough for a lot of people to quit. Yeah, I'm thankful it wasn't actually tough for me. I can relate to Gonzo on that. It kind of just naturally fell off. I think I told y'all this story about how I had that friend who asked me the question about, have you ever said no to a drink in your life? And that's where it started for me. I'd never even thought twice about it before. Alex says, she says she's almost caught up. I am almost caught up, Alex. Now I just lost my spot again. Righteous Monkey in the house. Yo, Daniel, what's up? But I lost my spot. KG Smith in the house. Hey, KG. Love you long time. Okay, I found it. Gonzo says, Kevin, I forgot to mention to you, but I think you'll be great as a podcaster also. Yeah, Kevin is great at everything he does. Everything he touches turns to gold. I I think that are what's the legality of putting a camera on your dash and posting Uber content? Like is that allowed? It must be because people are doing it. I'm really interested in knowing if that's actually legit. Because I thought about doing it when I was doing Lyft, but then I was like, there's no way. And I didn't care to do the research and I only did it for a couple weeks. Girl almost puked in my back seat and I was like, I'm done with this. Gonzo says he would listen to it. 200 milligrams of caffeine, zero sugar, 300 milligrams of electrolytes, vegan, non-GMO. That's my favorite thing that you said in there, Tala, non-GMO. I'm a huge proponent of non-GMO. I'm not vegan, never have been in my life. I love eating meat. I also really love non-GMO. Must be non-GMO. The organic thing, I could take it or leave it, but it's got to be non-GMO. Yeah, Marky, humans in general get addicted to things easy, good or bad. True that. That's a philosophical conversation though. I'm making a note of that because the whole good addiction versus bad addiction, that's an interesting conversation. Slow-mo used to drink 800 milligrams of caffeine a day. When you work 24-hour shifts, I just, no, thank you. A 24-hour shift? Are you talking about as an EMT slow-mo? Having, y'all ever have deja vu? Let me know if you've had deja vu. I get it. I go long periods of not getting it, usually when I'm not doing well, but I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm having deja vu right now. What do you think that means? Tala and slow-mo especially, I want to know. I mean, I want to know everyone's thoughts on deja vu, but what is deja vu? Yeah, Gonzo's got that voice like, or not, I think he means Kevin's got that voice like Joe Rogan. Sucralose. Tala says it's good, and if you guys are wondering why it's sweet, it's probably because of the sucralose. Hmm. I've been making cookies, a lot of cookies lately, and I've been using sugar alternatives like erythritol and stevia. I'm very happy with it. I was using xylitol for a little while, but I ran out of it and I decided to try erythritol instead. Keeps your blood sugar stable. does not cause tooth decay. A lot of benefits to using it. I do wonder what it's like it can't all be good. Like there's got to be some drawback of using the alternate sweeteners, but yeah. I know digestion, it can act as a laxative, the xylitol anyway. I don't know about the erythritol. It can be anti-parasitic. I looked it up and I'm like, that is amazing. A sweetener that kills parasites? That's amazing. Yes, please. Tara would be a great Rogan guest. I don't know about that. I would be honored. I would be so psyched if Joe Rogan wanted me to be on his podcast. I've been listening to him for a long time. I don't listen to everything he does, but like I watched him on Fear Factor, so I would be super psyched to be on. Thanks, Slow-Mo. That's quite a compliment. Gonzo thinks so too. Well, let's just call him on the let's get him on the phone right now. Have a Tala says you have a very serene way of speaking. It's really inviting and uplifting. Oh, that's a really nice compliment, Tala. I absolutely appreciate that. And I gotta say, I feel the same way about you and your voice. Listening to you talk with Slow-Mo and Kimmy last night, I think it takes one to know one. And I would say this is a perfect example of that. It's a very thoughtful thing of you to say. Slow-Mo's on the fence right now, kind of. First day trying to do only a quarter in the AM, feeling like crap. Don't want to have to take the nightly dose. Ooh, Slow-Mo. I know I get that you don't want to have to, and I think that your perspective is a strength here. It's I think it's always hard. Oh, not always. I shouldn't use the word always, but in terms of mental health meds, I can relate to not wanting to take them. And I think it's really great that you are thinking about it and that you're not succumbing to cravings and that you're wanting to develop a plan for yourself. So I'd be interested in hearing what you decide to do. And I want to know, like, I know you say you don't want to have to take the nightly dose, but what are your thoughts on, like, have you made up your mind yet? Like, do you have a reservation? Are you going to take it? Do you not? Like, I know you don't want to take it, but have you actually made a decision that you're not going to take it? Or are you wrestling it with it in your mind? Because that can take up a lot of mental energy. So I'm curious about what your thoughts are on that. Yeah, Marky says, take a tiny crumb to sleep, Mo. I support whatever decision you make, Slow-Mo. Marky, I think that's a really insightful comment. Tala's more of a coffee person, but my brother brought over a case of Prime, and I decided to try it. I haven't had any of these energy drinks. I feel so behind the times. I'm a French press coffee kind of girl, Or like Kimmy, did you cowboy brew? Did you make your coffee, Kimmy? Gonzo goes to bed early, 8:30. 8:30 is late to you, Gonzo? Dang. Kimmy does love her coffee, Slow-Mo. Marky goes to bed pretty early too. But Marky hangs out. 8:30, 9:30, he's usually out. Yeah, that's accurate. I've seen it happen many times. Marky, I'm glad you're still here and kicking it with us. KG, we know Marky. Slow mo. I may play Terra's Stream when I drift off to sleep. Your voice is calming and reassuring. Laugh face, 100%. Turn this into an ASMR fall asleep stream. Gonzo says, I need to find a hobby, Marky. Got too much free time after work. Gonzo, what kind of hobbies have you had before? And what kind of things would you like to explore? And I'd like to keep rhyming, so I'll tell you I'm sitting in front of a door. Type it in the chat if you want to hear some more. Slow-mo, do you go to the gym, bro? Yeah, good question. Slow-mo. Yeah, Marky, the gym helps Marky. Marky, how's your hip? Is it still, I think it had completely healed. Is it still better? Are you sustaining the better? Marky goes to the gym early. I have tried to exercise early. The earliest I can really go and enjoy myself is 8:30. Any earlier than that, and it's like pulling teeth for me to get out of bed. Although I woke up early today on my own. Like the ketamine treatment is really helping many aspects of my life. Tala says, Marky tried to motivate me to go to the gym, but ever since my health condition, I just have no motivation. Tala, I can relate to having no motivation. That's a really challenging, frustrating spot to be. I am curious if you've talked to your your medical healthcare providers, um, and your mental health care providers. I actually have a team of medical and mental health care professionals that really have helped me. I mean, my life is changing. It took a while, I'll be honest about that and say that it hasn't been a straight shot. It's been arduous and rocky and at times really kind of dirty, to be honest. But I feel at this point there's no going back. I've improved quite a bit, and motivation, like you were saying, is a huge part of what I struggled with. It's like I couldn't be motivated to get out of bed some days, not even for coffee, until I was sore from being it was like I would lay in bed so long I'd get sore and I'm like, all right, I'll get some coffee. There was no motivation. So I can relate to that. And I want to share from my perspective, thinking about where I was to where I am now, there is hope. There are many different solutions to get to the point you're looking at. And I don't know how you feel about mental health and medical health care, but for me, it's made the difference. Revitalizing, yes. Revitalizing. Revitalizing. It's like just thinking about the aroma of the coffee, like invigorating, invigorating, invigorating. I like that word to describe when you switch a flavor to something new, you get sick of it. Invigorating. Gonzo says, me too, but exercise is more like a chore I have to do. Gonzo, yeah, I can relate to that. I'm hoping for myself that as I continue to get better, I'll be able to enjoy the things that I used to enjoy. I'm still working up to that. I'm not fixed by any means. I'm still putting in work to get to that point, but I hear you, Gonzo. Yeah, slow-mo, it can be super hard to get motivated at first. Yeah, Marky wants to know how Tala is doing with what he's going through. Gonzo take up golf. Kimmy said yes. It's a hormone headache. That sounds hormonable. That was a really bad joke. I was thinking horrible, like the hormone, but I said hormonable, and it probably didn't make any sense. But now, hopefully, it makes sense that I explained it, and it really wasn't very funny. So I'm going to move on. I need to go call Keurig before I throw this out the window. Kimmy, did you make a cowboy coffee? Do you want me to tell you what a cowboy coffee is? Disc golf. Oh, disc golf could be fun. I've never actually played disc golf before. Jill in the house. Hey, Jill. So, Jill, it's actually Mondays. It's Mondays at 4:15. There's a story there too, which I'm jotting down. So yeah, it's Mondays at 4:15, but people were wanting a place to go after Kevin's live, so I'm the girl tonight. I'm not committing. Commitment is like I stutter when I say the word commitment. It's really hard for me. Uh, I'm I'm committed to Mondays at 4:15. We'll see, if I feel up to doing Wednesdays. I'm kind of liking the vibe right now. I feel uh, good. I was about to say revitalized, energized. I feel good about this stream right now, but we'll see how it goes moving forward. Maybe I'm going to stop there. We'll see how it goes. Disc golf is dope. I like that word. I used to use that word all the time, but I started feeling like it was insensitive to use that word, so I stopped, but I really like that word. I mean, dopamine, like that's what we're all chasing, right? Like that we want healthy levels of dopamine. Or I mean, sometimes we want unhealthy levels of dopamine, but you know what I'm saying. We want like ultimately our common goal that we have today is to have healthy levels and to be happy with that. Gonzo, thank you, Terry. You're the sweetest. You're welcome, Gonzo. It's a pleasure. Kingdom Within says, Marky, since my mother-in-law got me these Archery King pills, I can actually get out of bed on my own and sort of do normal things. So yeah, I've been better lately. Oh, that's wonderful, Tala. That's an improvement. That's a wonder. I think it's great that you can have the perspective and see the improvement that you're having. That's a wonderful thing. Marky says, hide your microwave. Jill's here. That's funny. For those of you that don't know, there's an inside joke about microwaves. Like Jill said at one point, she was on, I think it was the day that it was me, Jill, and Kimmy on Kevin's live. And Jill was talking about how she'll never date a guy with a dirty microwave. Like he has to have a dirty microwave. So when you see the microwave joke slinging back and forth, it all goes back to Jill's preference for dating men with or assessing a man's suitability as a partner by the way his microwave looks. So men, take some notes. Marky was just thinking about Disc golf, I think. I don't think Gonzo was thinking about hiding the microwave. I think I think Gonzo was thinking about disc golf. That would be a fun hobby, disc golf. Tala should have joined us on that fast. Yeah, Slow-mo did really well on the fast. Gonzo, I just need to get out more. I live in LA for sakes. So much to do. I can relate to that too, Gonzo. There's so much to do. Just in California in general, we live in like one of the most beautiful places in the world. And yeah, why don't we take advantage of that? Righteous Monkey, I know I said what's up. If you're still in here, yo. Marky says his hip is still left. Marky, I thought it got better. What's going on, man? Yeah, Tala, where are you from? Jill wants to know if you're from Chicago. Take up surfing, bruh. Yeah, I need to get back on my surfboard. I'll teach you how to surf. I'm kidding, because I'm learning how to surf. But I could teach you what I know. That would be so fun. I'm almost caught up, and then we can have a story time for a little shock value. I have a shocking story to share with you. Alex, are you still in here right now? How did I lose my spot like that? Casey in the house. Casey, nice to see you here. How did I lose my spot like that? I thought I was getting caught up, and now I'm like, how did I miss all these comments? What the heck? How did I miss so much? Oh my goodness. How am I ever going to get through this? I might have to pause and just, well, let me see if Alex is still in here. I don't think Alex is still in here. Oh, Matt. I see Matt. I don't know when you popped in, Matt, because I'm freaking behind in the comments. But hey, Matt, what's up? I'm glad you're here. Okay, so if Alex is not here anymore, then maybe we'll stall on the story so I can get to the comments. But I still have a note. Perhaps I'll still tell you the story. If you want to hear the story, let me know. That's such a bad question. Of course you want to hear the story. Who does that? Who says that? Gonzo says he's a self-described junkie. And Gonzo, do you think that that's a do you say that in an endearing sense, like how my roommate used to use the term? She loved that word. She thought it was like romantic. And then there's other people who think it's demeaning. What's your interpretation of that word? I'd be interested in everyone in the chat's opinion on that one. What program am I using to go live, Tala? I'm using just YouTube, straight up. I have a really weak signal, and so I can't use any of the streaming platforms, and I apologize for the quality. I know it's not ideal, but I have a hardwire connection, the Ethernet cable into my MacBook Pro, and then my signal is super weak. So you're probably asking because it's like you might want to suggest a program that gives better quality, but YouTube is the only thing that my signal is compatible with. StreamYard, it looks horrible on. That's actually the only thing I tested, but I was just like, all right, I'm going with YouTube until I get a stronger signal. Righteous Monkey says, "What up, chat? What up, Righteous Monkey? How's it feel to be 5 years in recovery? 5 years clean and sober. How's that feel?" Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't remember. I watched your video and I don't remember if you identify with sober. Like, I think I know you identify with being clean. I remember that from your video, but I say clean and sober. I think you relate because you got clean and sober in AA too. So yeah, I say, how's it feel? That's why I started with recovery. Like, how's it feel to be 5 years into your recovery? Because that's a catch-all accurate way to ask it. But how's it feel to be 5 years clean? Marky, I agree with you. You got to get passionate about something. I can relate though to not knowing what that thing is. And I personally, for me, the way that I ended up finding what my hobbies are is by just trying stuff, by going and doing things with people, trying new things. It's okay to not like everything that you try. And it's okay if your hobbies change too over time. For me, that's what worked. Just getting out there. You don't have to, I wouldn't suggest doing the same thing I did. I literally quit my job, moved into my car, lived in it for 5 years, and got to know myself. I also got myself into a very bad situation at the end, so I don't recommend that. But to each their own. You can go on a spirit journey. You don't have to quit your job and move into your car to go on a spirit journey. Tala was born in the Bay Area. That's a really nice area. I lived there in my car for 6 months. I lived in my car in San Francisco and worked at Planet Granite Climbing Gym right by the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. There's multiple bridges. So I had to clarify. You were raised in Hawaii and Seattle? That's so cool. Yeah, Slomo, what did you like to do before you started using? Yeah, good question. Gonzo says, I know, brother. Maybe I'll just get a kid or something. that's, that's a good one. But then you want to pass on hobbies and do things with the. But I mean, hey, it could be a good way to find out what you like. You take the child to go do things. I think there are less extreme ways though to find hobbies than to have a child. You already know that. I know you're kidding. Marky said it's fun making them. Marky, what happened to your hip, bro? Yeah, I don't I think I'll have to see what Marky's response is. I don't know if he knew what happened. Yeah, Marky doesn't know. That's what I thought. Yeah, KG wants to know if it's in the Bay Area. Is the Bay Area San Francisco? Yeah, San Francisco is in the Bay Area. Gonzo's got his dogs. Yeah, I heard your dogs. They were being very vocal in the interview. What your one dog sounds ferocious. Like I would not mess with her. I think that was um your female friend dog. I would love to get a dog. I'm not ready. Need more time to fill. Yeah. Yeah, there's dogs are but that's a good start. I mean, that at least you have something, you know. Well, I should I didn't mean it like that. That sounded kind of cold. I think it's wonderful that you have your dogs to hike with. Hiking is a wonderful hobby. Marky's got 24/7 pain. I can't believe it's still happening, Marky. Yeah, hiking is super dope. KG's got to get to that bridge. Yes, KG, it is a wonderful bridge to visit. I highly recommend visiting both sides because the perspectives from both sides, like you got to drive across it. You got to. There's a beach. Baker's Beach is right at the base of the San Francisco side, and then the other side, north of the bridge, is beautiful. And if you keep going, there's Stinson Beach up there. It's just the whole area is beautiful, but San Francisco has changed quite a bit since I lived there, and it's really a sad thing to hear about. I have a friend who lived up there. She works in the city. She moved north of the bridge within the past couple of years because it's just too stressful to live in a city with all the crime and the looting that happens. It's really sad. It's really, really sad because she had this beautiful little place downtown San Francisco, and now she lives in Sonoma County and commutes back and forth for work. Yeah, San Francisco's changed a lot, but still, you want to go see the bridge. Yeah, so we're talking about the fast and how it would probably, or let me rephrase that, it might help Tala. The fast helps Slow-Mo physically and spiritually. KG's obsessed with the bridge, I'm guessing. KG. Yeah, the bridge is amazing. It truly is an engineering marvel. I've just looked at it before with my jaw dropped, like, and you could walk it, you could walk the bridge. I've never actually walked the bridge, but I would like to go with someone and walk the bridge. I think that would be, or bike it or something. Kevin, oh, that's so sweet, Tara. I don't know what I said, Kevin, but I'm happy to be of service, and I enjoy hearing that you think whatever I said was sweet. That's nice. Jill says, Gonzo, I do my basic training, make bed, eat breakfast, walk 2 miles before 7 a.m. Wow, Jill, that's a great routine. Can you download that into my head? That's a lot to do before 7 a.m. That's impressive. Gonzo says, yeah, when I was in rehab, the one who had it the worst, or the ones who had it the worst. And I'm so behind. Like, am I ever going to catch up right now? I'll try. I'm going to try to catch up. So, Gonzo, when I was in rehab, the one who had it the worst were the alcoholics. I felt for them. Their doc is everywhere, 24/7, and the withdrawals kill. Exactly. Yeah, alcohol is the worst. That's what my stepdad, who's a physician who works in hospice, says, that it's heartbreaking to see 50-year-olds die horrible deaths because of alcohol. Kicking Addiction says, God, I'm just thinking about how thankful I am that I don't drink anymore. How scary it must be to die like that. So Kevin says, each state has different laws in Utah. It's one person It's a one-person consent thing, so I can do it even without their approval. Oh, the Uber thing. So, okay, each state has different laws. You can do it even without their approval. Wow, Kevin. Well, giddy up. GMO garlic, mushroom, and I love garlic and mushroom and onion. I'm gonna try that again. I love garlic, mushroom, and onion. I do not approve of GMOs. I wish they would get them out of our country, just like they do in other countries. They're illegal elsewhere. Why do we allow that stuff here? Gonzo goes to work at 7 a.m. His morning starts with a methadone shot at 5 a.m. Gonzo, that's perseverance right there. You know, perseverance is a strength. And I want to applaud you for that. That takes a lot of diligence to be having that kind of routine. Righteous Monkey says, kick an addiction. Just sub to your channel, brother. Right on, Righteous Monkey. I remember seeing you a while back, I think on Luke's channel. Yeah, Righteous Monkey, that's we're actually having an after party right now. I'm glad you found us. There was really good energy, really good vibes in Kevin's live stream. He goes live every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure what that is Mountain Time. I think are we an hour different? But anyways, whatever 2 o'clock, am I right on that? Yeah, I'm right. 2 o'clock Pacific time every Wednesday. Kevin has great live streams, and we decided to have an after party here. And I decided to do an impromptu live stream, which I've never done before, but I'm happy that you're here joining us. I am so behind. I'm at the part where oh my gosh. I don't know what to do right now. If I should skip over a bunch of comments to get up to date with you or go through all the comments. I'm so behind right now. You're right where you're supposed to be. Was that comment meant to be about the comments? Like, how did you know, Marky? Was that comment meant to be? I'm tripping out right now on that comment. Morrison, are you allowed to sleep on 24 hours? I do believe in deja vu, says. I wonder what other people think about deja vu. It's such an interesting phenomenon to me. Okay, so Gonza says deja vu is a factual phenomenon. We just don't know what it is. Absolutely, it's factual. It happens to me a lot when I'm doing well. A glitch in the matrix is what deja vu is. It's time bending slowly. Jill, that's super deep. Marky, you'd pay me just to talk shit to you all day? But I don't want to be mean to you. Like, I'll talk to you all day long. We can talk until you fall asleep, because I would imagine that that's going to be part of what's happening sometime soon is you're going to be going to sleep. I love talking with people. If you didn't know that, I really enjoy it. But I don't want to be mean to you. There was this place. Now I'm going to get even further behind in the comments. There was this place. So let me back up a little bit more. My first job ever was at this place. It was a 50s restaurant called Five and Diner, Arizona. And I made good money there. And there was this other restaurant in Phoenix called Ed DeBevick's. It was also a 50s restaurant. And I thought about going to work there because they made bank at that place. But part of their job was to be mean, like to talk smack to their guests, to the people that they were serving. And I was just like, I get why they would make more money than us, but I don't know, I liked being nice to people. I liked being of service, and I don't think I could talk smack for a living. I can get sassy. I can get feisty. As we get to know each other more, I think the sass and the feistiness will come out naturally. But yeah, that was my little side tangent about not taking that job because, or not going for that job because I didn't want to be mean to people. But Marky, I appreciate your comment. Jill, Tara sure does. I listen to her every day. Aw, that is so sweet, Jill. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. And it makes me really happy that you enjoy listening to me. It makes me a little emotional, to be honest. Heck yeah, I'd pay to listen to Tara. Oh, y'all, you're so sweet. Slow mo wrestling with taking it. Slow mo. Your honesty is an absolute strength. And I don't have an opinion to offer you. I'm not here to tell you to take it or to not take it. But what I am here for is to tell you that you have the answer. You know what to do. I know other people have offered their thoughts, and I don't disagree with them. I know I know you've done this before. And just because you did it once a certain way does not mean you have to do it again the same way. You know, you heard Gonzo talk tonight. You were in there. You heard Gonzo's journey and what he went through. And there's no reason, in my mind, there's no reason to put ourselves through more pain and suffering than we have to deal with in our normal life. So I'm super behind in the comments, and I don't know if you've taken it already, but just know that you're in good company here. I know you know that. I know you know that we're going to support you no matter what you do. And whether you take it or whether you don't take it, we love you. Yeah, Marky says tiny, tiny piece. Jill says I can't swear, tall is in the house. Casey, hey, it took me forever to find you. Casey, I don't know if you're still in here, but if you are, I'm so glad that you joined us. Did you end up calling the dentist? And what did they say? Marky said he's old like me. Gonzo, just the weekdays. Um, I get up early. Just the weekdays I get up early. Still. Jill, I try to stay up till 10. Jill, I was trying that also, and lately I've been staying up later because I have a friend who likes to talk on the phone later, and I really like talking to her. So I've been staying up later. Gonzo, I'm old, Tara, not ancient. You're not old, Gonzo. You said that on your live stream. I was like, that's not old. I don't think so. Anyway. Gonzo, she said, damn. Did I say damn? Damn. That's not really a swear word, is it? It's kind of, there's a gray area with that one. Hence the caffeine. Pre-workout, Marky says. Gonzo, I don't know, Tara. I see your Instagram. You're in the outdoors a lot. Okay, about finding a hobby is what Gonzo's talking about. I used to be outdoors a lot, Gonzo. I have, in the past few years, really been protecting myself a little too much. Uh, I wouldn't change the way that I've coped in the past couple of years, but I am getting tired of not doing the things that I love, the things that you see on Instagram. And so I'm moving toward those things again. I just am moving at a pace that I'm comfortable with. It's kind of a long story. Like we could talk about that, and if perhaps I'll get into that more. But um, I'm just making a note. Um, I need to find something like that. Uh, oh, but I'm in SoCal. You're in Northern Cali. I'm in Central Cali, Gonzo. And I think your goal here of wanting to find something like that is a fantastic thing to aspire to. And I think because it's like Tala and Slomo talk about, like, if you seek the truth, you will find it. I feel like this is exactly that in a different way than like a biblical type of conversation or like, but I personally think that spending time in nature, for me, it's a very spiritual experience. I feel closest to God when I am sitting in nature. And so I think when I hear things like, seek the truth and you will find it, I feel like you're on the path to finding what lights you up, what does it for you, just as a function of seeking what does it for you, you're on the path to finding it. So I think that's wonderful. It's as good as done. Gonzo's the Suboxone made it impossible to get a hobby. I now have the energy to find one, and that is great news. Really, Gonzo, you're right there. Jill's also trying to find a hobby. Ooh, hobby crew. Hobby crew. I'm trying to get, admittedly, I'm trying to get back to my hobbies too. And I touched on part of why that I didn't go deep into why that is, but we'll get to that eventually. I'll tell y'all some stories. Tala, you're welcome. My pleasure. Jill is not good at gardening, flowers, sewing, cooking. Well, that's a wonderful thing to know what you're not good at. Gonzo, I need to find a girlfriend eventually. I'm not getting younger. Gonzo, you're a young, strapping lad. There was men and women fighting over you in the chat today. Like, you got plenty of time. All we got is time. And if you start getting to your hobbies, like doing things, you don't even have to have a hobby to start trying stuff out. You just start trying stuff out and doing things. You start meeting people, and who knows what will happen after that. Gonzo says, I can garden actually. Maybe I'll do that. That sounds like fun. And it puts you in the nature. Gardening, I've heard, is very, very therapeutic and very meditative. Case, that's me. I could sleep my life away, but I have a little girl to take care of and a job, etc. I'm learning to drink coffee, not vodka or soda, because it burns my throat. Okay, sounds weird. It doesn't sound weird, Casey. I don't think that sounds weird at all. I think it's fantastic that you are doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and your little girl. It sounds like you've made a lot of progress in just the short amount of time that I've known you. I really like an update. I know I'm really far behind in the comments, but if you haven't typed an update about how things are going with life in general, and if you were able to connect with your dentist, I'm really interested. And if you already typed a response to that, I apologize. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Gonzo says, for the last year, I wasn't doing anything, had no energy, no drive. Depression was ugly. Depression is ugly. It is not a fun thing to deal with. I don't wish it on anyone. I slept my life away for 15 years, KG says. Oh, I can so relate to sleeping your life away. I've got to say that I have improved over the past couple of, well, like 6 weeks or so since I started. For me personally, it's ketamine treatment. I know it's not a good fit for everyone. You know, everyone's so different. But for me, it's been sort of like the missing key, or it's opened up a door for me. It hasn't fixed my depression, but it's at least given me the ability to get out of bed, in combination with the other treatments and therapies that I'm doing. Like, it's the sum of all the parts for me is what's working. It's not just the ketamine. Because if you were to take everything else that I'm doing out of the equation and just leave me with the ketamine, I don't think I'd be getting the same results. But I can definitely relate to feeling like I'm wasting my life away, and that is not a fun place to be. Got to have a purpose. Yep. Marky says, I know what it is. Know what is, Marky? Gonzo, I was high for just as long, really high. Yeah, me too. Jill, I don't know. I just don't know what that is yet. Gonzo, I can relate. But right now, I can tell you that my purpose, without a doubt, is to connect with you on this live stream. And for me personally, it makes it much easier to digest what my purpose is if I break it down into smaller segments. You know, like my purpose when I was in Kevin's live stream earlier was to moderate. Um, I did get distracted for a little bit at the end because I got a phone call and somebody wanted to talk to me about peer support because they're getting ready to go into training. So I did have to, sorry, Kevin, I apologize. I had to take like a 10-minute hiatus to take a call from a friend of mine, but that was my purpose for that 10 minutes, to answer their questions and to provide peer support to my friend who's getting ready to go into peer support training. So I think personally, when I break it down like that, it gets a lot easier rather than trying to think of like some grand purpose for my life. That's overwhelming. That's like me saying I'm never going to smoke weed again. Like, the hell I'm not going to smoke. Like, that's too hard for me to wrap my head around. I can't think about not doing that forever. And actually, that ties into something, but I can think about staying clean today. I can think about not having a drink today. That's really helpful to me. So breaking things down into smaller bits is all, it's just the point I was trying to make. Monday it is, yes. What about Tuesday or Thursday? Tara Tuesday. Kimmy goes live on Tuesdays. That's the thing. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Gonzo, Kimmy's Playhouse goes live, and Kimmy's Playhouse is a rockin' time. I love being there. It's always fun, exciting, spicy. I like the word spicy content. So if you haven't been to Kimmy's Playhouse, she goes live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at, I have space on the time. She's been talking about going later on Tuesdays, but typically it's like 3:30 Pacific time, around 3:30 that I remember her going live. but she has been talking about doing it later on Tuesdays. Yeah, KG, sorry you had to deal with the 15 years of depression. Marky's had those days before too. Casey says, KG, I'm not depressed. I just don't like to be in pain or think, because when I'm in pain, all I'm wanting is shit I don't need. That's very insightful of you, Casey. I'm hearing so many great insights this evening, and to realize that you've got triggers is huge. Keep up the hard work, Casey. KG says, and Jill, the sad part is my children suffered. They love you anyway. Marky says, oh, you're almost done, KG. That stuff will all be in the past soon enough. You know what the beautiful thing about that statement is? It is all in the past because we're here right now. That's actually the intention that I set with my therapist for my next ketamine session, is being right here, right now. Because all my trauma is in the past. And my hypervigilance is based in the future. But if I'm right here, right now, I can be discerning, I can use my intuition, and I can trust that I'm going to know the right thing right here, right now. KG says she has a lot of making up to do. We got nothing but time, KG. I'm sure y'all know this, but time is the most valuable resource that we have. More valuable than money. Time is priceless. So KG, I think it's wonderful, again, with the perspective. Your perspective is a strength here. And the fact that you see that there are things that you want to accomplish tells me that you will, that you're capable of doing it. Doesn't tell me that you will. I want to take that back. It tells me that you're capable of doing it. We got time. Gonzo says, Jill will not date me then. I have OCD. I think Jill, I mean, your microwave's clean, Gonzo, so you checked that box. I'm so behind in the comments right now. Matt, if you're still in here, I'm glad you came to join us. Yeah, Marky, you got to take care of yourself, KG. I'm in the same boat, KG. I'm taking care of myself. Oh, no, I lost my... Let me see what's going on at the bottom since I just lost my spot. Yin's in Chicago. Yin's in Chicago. What's up, Yin's in Chicago? How are you doing? Welcome. I'm super behind in the comments, so if you've been here for a while, I apologize for now just saying hi. I'm glad you're here. Oh, it looks like you just walked in. Jasmine, what's up, girl? Nice to see you. Mm. KG remembers her children coming home from school and then she'd be asleep. You know what, KG? I'm going to share some of my experience with you if that's okay. And when I would come home from school, my mom would be sleeping almost every day. And I didn't understand why. And I didn't like it at the time. But now in retrospect, that I'm going through what I'm going through and have gone through what I've gone through, um, I want to tell you that my relationship with my mom is actually stronger than it's ever been in my life. I call her every day because I like to connect with her, and she's there for me. She's present, even though we both still deal with our own issues. Um, our relationship is fantastic. And I'm really thankful for that. I actually got emotional on the phone today when I was talking to my mom. I was listening to her talk about doing her hair, and she colors it. And I was just listening to her talk and so thankful that I take the time and she takes the time to, we take the time to connect with each other. I was not doing that before I got into recovery. So the reason I share that with you is just that it's not be nothing is beyond repair. You know, like we used to butt heads. Our relationship was absolutely estranged for many, many years, but we're making up for lost time today. Like, you know, the now thing. Like, we're spending time together now. I mean, I'm spending time with you now, but tomorrow, uh, I'll be calling my mom just like I've been doing every day, pretty much every day for since I started taking mental health meds, actually. And I wouldn't trade the hours and hours of conversations I've had with my mom in the past year. I wouldn't trade that for anything. So just because we lost time in the past doesn't mean that we can't make up for it. Kimmy still got a headache. I'm sorry, Kimmy. Kimmy wants a new microwave. Marky says, I don't even know if I can read this on YouTube. Kimmy, Marky says, Kimmy, can you rub the headache out? With the laugh. So I knew you meant it like that, Marky. Marky, you know I cannot do that, says Kimmy. Marky and Kimmy have like this very brotherly, sisterly relationship. It is absolutely adorable, and I love seeing it. Ooh, Jill, right, Marky? That's how I ended up face planting. Ouch. Buzz it out, I mean. Sure, Marky, that's what you meant. Matt says, damn, I ended up ghost listening to Kevin's stream, but something disappointing happened. What happened, Matt? That was disappointing. I don't know if you're still in here or not. I'm super behind in the chat, but what happened? Tell us about it. Gonzo tries not to use his microwave. When he does, he covers up the food. I'm too OCD with kitchen grease. I actually don't use my microwave. I used my microwave the other day for the first time, and I've been in this place for almost a year. I'm not a huge microwave person. Personally, no judgment. It's just my jam. It's my style. Okay, so talking about the word junkie, it's awful. It's just a fact, though, I'm a junkie. Mm. Well, Gonzo, just so you know, my old roommate had the perspective that the word junkie was an endearing term. But I don't mean to invalidate the way that you feel about that word. Kimmy's not sensitive to words for the most part, they don't bother me. Except, Kimmy, I don't think you like the word moist. Jasmine, oi, oi, oi. Our New Zealand friend, my down under upside down home girl, Marquis says. Kimmy says, anyone else not know their clean date? I know my date jumping off subs, but then not the pain pills. I know the month and the year though. Marky Rizzo, your clean date's March 11th. That's my birth. No joke. My birthday is March 11th. I will be able to remember your clean date, Marky. Keep it that way. Don't change it. Matt says, to me, Kevin's the reason I got clean. And in the beginning of this stream, I was taking what I thought was 3 Flexerals that I needed to take for my broken arm, as I way overused it today. Ooh, Matt. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Your honesty is, it takes courage to be honest like that. So I want to commend you for being honest and sharing that with us. So Kimmy says, I know it was October 2019 that I jumped off subs on December 15th, 2021. So Kimmy, that's up to you. You know, your recovery is yours to define. So everyone's got different opinions and perspectives on what's clean, what's not. Personally, like, I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, but you don't have to have a specific day if you wanted to say October 2019, you know? But you could use December 15th, 2021 too, and that would be, they're both fair game. That's my perspective. KG doesn't know. I swallowed that ibogaine 7 a.m. sharp, Marky says. On my birthday, my actual birth, not my sober birthday, like my literal into this world from the womb birthday. Matt says, then he started to feel all over chill. So I checked and realized I took 3 Xanax by accident. Holy Toledo, Matt. That is quite the unexpected turn of events, isn't it? Are you okay? I mean, I think you're probably okay because you're here, but like, are you okay? Gonzo, I can't remember mine, and it was almost a month ago. That's okay. You could pick a day. I mean, if you want. Maybe a day is not important to you, you know? It's okay. And so given Kev's the reason I got clean, I just couldn't be talking in there while being all loopy. Definitely felt guilty. Aw, Matt. Well, I think I can't speak for Kevin. I don't know if Kevin is still listening and pumping the iron right now, but I don't think that any of us would want you to feel guilty about what happened. It was an accident, you know, and even if it wasn't an accident, like there's no shame and guilt are, I think, the biggest offenders and the biggest precursors to making decisions that we regret. So I don't I don't want to tell you how to feel. I just want to encourage you to go easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace and know that there's no judgment here. Mm. Matt says it's crazy. The Zan looks identical to Flexerol, the same shape and color. That's hard. Kingdom wants to know what age everyone is. So I shared my age last night, so I got no qualms with sharing it again, Tala. We'll see what everyone else says. I'm curious. Yeah, other people are asking too. So I'm 38 years young. Matt says that's why he was just ghost listening. How old are you, Tala, by the way? Yeah, that's why he was just ghost listening. That makes sense, Matt. I understand why you wouldn't feel like you wanted to be as active as you normally are. Cracking jokes, letting your personality shine like usual. Marky says I would have slept for 3 days if I took 3 Xannies. Yeah, me probably too, Marky. Gonzo says I know they're brats. Who's brats? I think I'm so far behind that I'm not that far behind. Let's see if I can catch up. Casey is 34. Tall is thinking, oh, I skipped some stuff. Marky's 44. Kimmy, 39. Casey's been cooking, planting, coloring, sleeping, using a planner, learning how to budget. So it's Christmas time and it's not helping. Casey, those are wonderful hobbies. I'm really impressed. It seems like you're doing really well, Casey. I'm so glad that you're here with us, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to see how your journey evolves. Jasmine's 35. KG Smith. Kevin's stream is the reason I've gotten this far. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know if you're still listening, but I hope that you understand the impact that you have on the world. You are a shining light, my friend, and you're an inspiration. I mean, I don't know if I would have had the courage to start this channel if it wasn't for you. So if you're listening, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and just express some gratitude for everything you do for us. KG says, even though I'm a nurse, I was totally uneducated on subs. So yeah, Kevin is really making a difference. Kingdom Within is 36. KG, y'all stop, 52. Casey, I know it's not about me, but I'd love to hike to waterfalls and shoot, if I didn't have an asthma attack every 5 minutes. Oh, and stuff. If I didn't have an asthma attack every 5 minutes. Oh, Casey. There's this waterfall in Yosemite. It's called Bridal Veil Falls, and it's a very short hike in. I don't even think it's half a mile. I think it's like a quarter of a mile. It's a really nice, easy walk to get back to the falls, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's actually a photograph of it on my Instagram if you want to see it. I'm very, very confident that you would be able to hike to that waterfall. I'm confident that you'd be able to hike to other waterfalls too, but that one in particular is grand. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it, and it's definitely worth checking out. Tala says, Marky, you got good ones though, because you don't look in your 40s. I would say mid 30s. I agree. Marky has a very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is. What I'm trying to say is that Marky, you come across like I would have never guessed that you were in your 40s. You look very young and you have a very young spirit about you. There's a word for that. I don't know what it is. Yeah, Matt's saying more about how he agrees with KG that Kevin's stream is a gift from the universe as well, always. Jasmine wants to know, what's the favorite place I've lived or visited? That's tough. That's like asking me what my favorite color is because it's the rainbow and I have different shades of each color that I like, and it depends on the day. So that's a tough one. It's a good question. It's just really hard to answer. I'll tell you what, my favorite places in the world, both that I've lived and visited, have been either beaches, like beach towns, or Yosemite National Park. I love all the national parks. They're all different, but Yosemite is my favorite one. I also love the beach. So I cannot. It's like asking me to pick a favorite child or something. You know, I can't. I I love them all equally, but I do love the beach and Yosemite differently. Yeah, Marky thought you were my age. Same. Tala is expressing some gratitude to all those who responded with age. I need some water, y'all. Marky's an old fact. I'm just going to say it the way he typed it. Marky says he's 79. Gonzo's going to be 43. Yeah, Gonzo, you mentioned that in the live stream, the Kevin's stream. Gen X, that's right. Holla. Oh my gosh, I am that far behind. What freaks me out about the bridge is the people that jump. I know KG, and there were times there were t- there were times where I had friends who were worried about me being in San Francisco because I was going through some depressive times, and I had untreated depression at that point. And people were like, "You're in San Francisco? What? Like you work right by the bridge? What?" There were some people who were really, really scared. I never once thought about jumping off the bridge. I've never once actually, um, this is super intimate. I've had ideation before, but I've never actually had a plan to do it. So yeah, but I did have a lot of friends who were worried about me for Putting myself so close so often to that bridge. I was always by that bridge. And in the house. Welcome to the party. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, I'm glad you are. KG's a boomer. Yeah, yeah. Kimmy looks like she could be in her 20s also. Marky, I live by the Sunshine Skyway. There's been a lot of jumpers. That's really sad. There's I don't know about the bridge that you're talking about, Marky, but on the Golden Gate Bridge, there's like suicide hotline numbers. There's security walks the bridge all the time because it's such a common problem. It's really sad. Casey says, Kimmy, I've heard caffeine helps headaches, at least migraines. Yeah, Casey, we were talking about Kimmy having a cup of coffee earlier, but her Keurig is broken. And I don't think she decided to do a cowboy brew, cowgirl brew. Kimmy says, okay, guys, I'm starting my trek into the city, into the airport. I'll listen when I can. Right on, Kimmy. I don't know if you're listening right now, but if you are, drive safe. KG, Marky, I'm for real. I saw a disappeared episode where a girl disappeared. It was on then. I started screaming, oh my gosh, that's scary. Casey believes Jesus is coming back soon. That's an interesting conversation. I don't know if Tala and Slow-Mo are still in here or not, but that's an interesting conversation. Anne Marie Bliss wants to know if there's someone else from Utah here. Anne Marie, Kevin. I don't know if Kevin is ghost listening right now. Kevin from Kick and Addiction is in Utah. I hope that wasn't TMI, Kevin, but you've been public with that on your channel, so I hope that was okay. Yeah, Europe does have better food quality laws than we do. I agree. Casey says the closest methadone clinic to me is a little over an hour away. I work 3 days a week, got to be up at 4 a.m. So methadone was never an option unless it came off the street. Yikes. Anything off the street makes me nervous these days. Marky, I sound like Kevin. Deja vu. Should I talk a little lower? Could I try to sound like Kevin a little more? That doesn't really sound like Kevin at all. Well, I could say, I don't think he says this much anymore, but he used to say like, "What's up, everybody? Hey, baby," or something like that. Something like that. He still says, "What's up, everybody?" And then I don't know exactly what he would say, but there's the hey, baby, or whatever he said. I can't remember. Yeah, I like that combo of deja vu. That would be cool. I agree. Deja vu and synchronicity. Speaking of synchronicity, I am so behind in the comments right now. I feel I'm out of sync. I'm going to flash forward a little bit to see if I can welcome anybody in, but it looks like I'm up to date on the attendees. Hey, everyone that's still in here: KG, Tala, Morrison, Kimmy. I am so uh, loving the conversation. I just feel like when I get so behind, there's, yeah, it's like that desynchronization type of thing. I would really like to work on Kimmy does a great job at keeping up with the comments. I'm like, I don't know how she does that. I start talking, I talk a lot. I think. Marky's asleep, yeah. Yeah, I think we lost Marky. Maybe Marky's listening. Maybe I should speak in a more relaxing voice to help Marky trail off to sleep as he lies in his comfortable bed. But then everybody else is here, and I don't want to put you all to sleep. So we're not going to do that for too long. Yeah, Casey, sorry I talk too much when I'm able to type. I talk a lot too. That's why I'm so freaking behind in the comments. Kingdom. I'm trying to figure out what my topic should be for my live stream tonight. Any ideas? Tala, you're still in here, I saw. So I talked with my mom today. I told her, I was like, guess whose conversation I listened to last night? Kingdom Within, because I told you she is subscribed to you. And I told her I thought she was going to be upset with me about the reincarnation conversation that came up and how you said you might research and make a video. But she was actually excited about it. And that was really surprising to me because in the past, she would have gotten angry about that. She's becoming more open minded these days. And um, she thought it would be an interesting video. So I know you won't talk about that tonight because you need to research it, but I'm curious to know what your plans are for that video. Like, are you going to make that video about reincarnation? And if so, how long do you think it'll take you to turn that around? Because I am really looking forward to it. Would there be any other ideas? I mean, that's the first idea that comes to mind, like I would be interested to see what the people in your live stream think about reincarnation, and that could be part of your, well, I mean, you want your research to be biblical, and I get that, but I just am fascinated by that topic right now. Yeah, last night's topic was awesome. I agree. I missed the first part of it and I want to go back and listen, but I heard the end of it and the end was fantastic. Kimmy pulled over to type, there were no fights. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Kimmy, if you're still here. Fighting over fighting over Gonzo. Fighting over Gonzo. Yeah, Marky and Kimmy were fighting over Gonzo tonight. Yeah, great conversation last night on Kimmy's Playhouse. I think she's going to go live again tomorrow. My people are seventh. Yins in Chicago says, my people are Seventh Day Adventists. Do you think they are a cult? Yins in Chicago, I don't know if you're still here right now. Looks like there were a bunch of messages that were retracted, and I did not do that, so that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't think you're still in here, Yinzin, but I'm going to answer this question anyways. It's interesting because my mom and I were just talking about cults today on our phone conversation, and how if you don't believe as the group believes, that's considered a cult. So I think by definition, religion, and I'm not saying spirituality, but by definition, it seems that any religion, any group would be considered a cult by definition. I mean, AA is a fantastic example. It's not a religion. Well, for some people, it's a religion. I take mental health medication, and the book talks about how the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous talks about how we take medication as prescribed. In the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, medication is acceptable as long as we take it as prescribed. A lot of people in the program, not just a few, a lot of people in the program, I believe, have misinterpreted the big book because it talks about mind altering substances. I totally understand the perspective of not wanting to take mind altering substances, but it's like people are blind and to the passage where it talks about we take medication as prescribed. And that just blows my mind. And so I would put AA into the category of a cult, because if you don't believe as the group believes, then there's this, I hesitate to say judgment because it's supposed to be a judgment free zone, but in my experience, it's not the way it is. And so back to your question, I know you're probably not still here anymore, but back to your question, if you watch this on the replay, your people are Seventh Day Adventists. Do I think it's a cult? I think religions are cults. I don't think there's anything wrong with your beliefs. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a Seventh Day Adventist. Actually, it's what my some of my family identifies closest with Seventh Day Adventists. But do I think they're cults? Yeah. I want to be um, clear that I don't think cults are necessarily bad things. I think they can be bad things, but I'll leave it at that. Casey says, "Thank you, not my first rodeo. You guys are helping me a lot um, in not feeling alone. My faith, I do, wait, I think I'm getting tired. Thank you, not my first rodeo. You guys are helping me a lot and not feeling alone. I do need these teeth fixed, though calling tomorrow, hopefully." Okay, Casey, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but that makes me happy to hear, first of all, that you feel like you're supported here and have people on your side. You do. We're all here for you. We're all rooting for you. And second of all, that you're going to call your dentist tomorrow. I think that's a great plan. And I'm looking forward to hearing how that conversation goes. So please keep us updated. Yeah, Casey, I can relate. I'm also not as put together as I seem, but that's okay. We don't have to be perfect. Yep, Kimmy's Playhouse rocks. I agree. Yep, Kimmy asks great questions and is a great host. I agree. Jasmine ski daddled. She says, "Bye, Tara. I just went for a walk along the beach on my lunch break. It filled me with gratitude. Chat later, Tara." Jasmine, I'm glad that you went to the beach. That makes me happy. And if you're somehow hearing this, thanks for stopping by, and we'll chat soon. Slow Mo's back in the house. Jasmine says, "Love hearing you talk about your parents, Tara. My relationship with my parents was extremely complicated and estranged. I relate to this so much. Yeah, it feels nice to have a level of closeness with them now. I still would like to improve my relationship with my dad, but improving with my mom is a good start. Gonzo's back in the house. Hey, Gonzo, if you're still here, thank you for sharing that about your mom. I was that mom who was checked out. My ex never missed an opportunity to tear me down. My kids weren't even allowed to call me mom. Oh, Anne Marie. Four of my five of four out of 4 of 5 of my kids, I have an amazing relationship with my oldest. It's still prickly. Your story gives me hope. I'm so glad, Anne Marie. I'm so glad. You deserve to have a good relationship with your family, and I know I know that it's possible because it happened for me. Tala, the live stream should focus on portals, bruh. Obviously. Slow-Mo's got an update. He ended up having to take a small piece and it helped. Slow-Mo, good job, man. Good job taking care of yourself. I'm really proud of you for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier. You're honest and you're brave for sharing exactly what you just shared. Anne Marie, the only thing I use my microwave for is to heat up my rice pack for my back. Yeah, Anne Marie, I don't use mine often either. Aw, Slow-Mo, I love how understanding and supportive you are. You're a huge asset to the recovery community. That is a very nice compliment, Slow-Mo. That's a very thoughtful thing to say, and I appreciate you for that. Aw, KG, absolutely, Morrison. May need to hire you as a life coach. Right on. I am open to that, and I would be honored. I'll be the best life coach you ever had. I don't know about life coach. How about peer support? Because I'm a certified peer support specialist. I'll be the best peer support specialist you've ever had. And that's actually why I'm here. That's exactly what I want to do. So those compliments that you paid are being very well received right now. It means a lot. Yeah, 38 years young. Exactly. 85 in the house, slow-mo, me too. March 11th. Kimmy, gotta go. Dad is about to get in the car. Love you, Tara. You have a beautiful heart. Oh, Kimmy, I know you're not here anymore. I know you're not listening to this, but I echo that. I reflect that right back at you. And if somehow you're watching this right now, I really appreciate you. And I'm glad that you're in my circle. Talis says, wow, you look way younger than that, Tara. I assumed you were like 25 or something. Thank you, sir. I've said it before and I will say it again. I will take that all day long. Never gets old. Tara looks super young. I found some gray hairs in the old beard today. Thanks, Slow-Mo. I appreciate that compliment. Ain't nothing wrong with a little gray, you know? It's like natural highlights. Tall is 36. All these kids on here. Gonzo, you are not that much older than us. Yeah, exactly, Gonzo. You look 22. Yeah, Kimmy, that's a good question. Tala, when are you planning on going live? Because I hope you answer that question. I hope I'm not ripping into your live because I'll go chill with you. We can tag team. Kimmy's head feels better. She'll be home in about an hour and still needs to make dinner. Gonzo says he grows his hair out and all his white hairs make him look older. I think gray hair is beautiful. Let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. Yeah, Kimmy, exactly. Gonzo, older men are very attractive. I agree. Got the white hairs from wisdom, bruh. I look older than Marky. Slow mo, you do have a baby face. You totally have a baby face. Kimmy, I think you looked beautiful last night. Your hair looked amazing. Tala accepts the compliment. Slow mo's smart. He doesn't guess women's ages. He says he looks like a little baby, but the wrinkles and the white hairs are coming in. Well, I mean, that's interesting because when babies are born, sometimes they look like old people, you know? Sharpay on the forehead? No, Kimmy. Everybody's got everybody's got stuff on the forehead. I have a really big scar on my forehead. It's part of why I've been protecting my skin when I go out in the sun, and I've been trying to not get like any kind of tan because I'm trying to even out the huge scar that I have on my forehead. I think it's about as even as it's probably going to get, though. Now that I just pointed it out, everybody's going to notice. Probably nobody noticed before, but Botox the wrinkle, KG. Right on. Kimmy wants to get work done. But um, she thinks she'll get obsessed with it. She won't start, or she thinks she won't stop once she starts. KG Botox is the wrinkles. What's up with the San Fran Bridge? A band I like had a song called Jumpers about it. It was a super messed up song. I've never heard that song Slow Mo. I think it's just it's a natural wonder of the world. You know, there's seven natural wonders of the world, and the bridge is one of those. And it's in San Francisco, which is a hot spot for people who are experiencing homelessness or who are down on their luck. It's like people flock to California for many, many different reasons. Weather being a big one, self-preservation and wanting to get out of the elements in the winter or the extreme heat of the summer. So it's just a seemingly good solution for a lot of people. Kimmy, yeah, no judgment. I'd do it too if I could moderate. Talking about the getting work done. How old is Slow-Mo? Slow-Mo's 38. Kimmy had a hissy fit about it. Hung up on the lady at the customer service number. 14 years disappeared due to addiction. Kimmy's in heaven. That's a good place to be. Legit heaven because she's in a parking lot. She can see all the planes taking off. And it's a new cell phone lot where she can see all the planes taking off. That sounds cool, Kimmy. I don't want to see a photo of what that looks like. Yeah, Slow-Mo, you love the conversation about Jesus coming back. I knew you would. I figured you would. That's why I said that. I'd love to hear y'all have a conversation about that. I am getting caught up here. Slow-Mo, one of my favorite shows. I don't watch a whole lot of TV these days, but one of my favorite shows is Lost too. Can y'all hear the music out there? They are jamming out. There's a show going on out there. There's like an event going on outside of my place right now. It's hard getting so bogged down in the comments because like now I'm trying to my brain, it's like it needs a break from the comments and I just want to tell y'all stories, but then when I tell stories, I get behind in the comments. So it's this like push pull in my brain trying to solve this problem right now of do I keep pushing forward, but then I skip a bunch of comments, but I've been going for 2 hours and my brain needs a break. So maybe I got to get something off my chest. I'm going to take a break from the comments because I'm almost caught up and I'm just going to scroll down um, so I can kind of see what's happening live. I didn't skip over too much. Thanks, Gonzo. I appreciate that. It feels nice to be like here, um, like actually live with you. I'm going to do my best to kind of keep up. And then if I get through what I have to get off my chest, then I'll kind of scroll back up. So I told you earlier that I had a story and this is kind of like the bag dump story that I told last night where I'm a little bit embarrassed about it, but this is embarrassing in a different kind of way. And Slow-Mo, I appreciate you saying that you're here for me right now because it's exactly what I've been commending you for tonight. Like, you're brave, you're courageous. I feel like I want to share something because you've inspired me to feel comfortable and safe doing so. So, I saw my nurse practitioner today. I'm going to take a drink of water really quick because I need it. Yeah, Gonzo, you did just bare your heart and soul to us. Casey, you're still in here? Right on. Okay, so I saw my nurse practitioner today, and the reason that we met is because a week ago, or yeah, a little over a week ago, it was the night that I did my first live. I told y'all that I was struggling, I was having cravings, and the cravings have subsided. I feel so much better than I felt, but I reached out to my nurse practitioner when I was struggling and made an appointment with her. And today was that appointment was today. So we revisited my meds and reevaluated the whole situation, talked about what I was going through, and the topic of marijuana came up. And as some of you know, I'm in recovery from marijuana. And she shared some of her experience about how, like, I didn't actually know that she had engaged with substance use. She's in remission from cancer. And so she used to use it for pain. And so the topic came up because it's something that I had asked her about before I started ketamine treatment. Like, I was having cravings before I even started ketamine treatment because it's worked for me, but it also took me out of commission and I became non functional and it made my depression worse. So there's this sort of like it's worked for me and it hasn't worked for me, you know, when I let it get away from me and I would smoke all day, every day, like super strong stuff all the time. But the topic came up today, and she actually said that I might be able to use someday marijuana in a responsible way. And I was like, my jaw hit the floor, and I was like, what? Like, you're kidding, right? You know, but then I was also really excited at the idea of being able to go to the beach and smoke a spliff with a friend, you know, every once in a while, not as a regular all day everything, but like every once in a while in a responsible way. So I haven't done anything yet. Like, my nurse practitioner said now is not the time. Like, I'm still in recovery for my mental health right now. And now is not the time for me to engage in activity like that. But I feel like I've been carrying that with me, and, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I ever will smoke marijuana again in my life and how I would feel about it after, you know, like, would I feel guilty? Or because the reason I stopped smoking, I mean, I wanted to take a break from smoking, but I never wanted to stop forever. But the reason I stopped is because I started living. I don't know if you all know this, but I had started living at a safe house. I got mixed up with some really dangerous people, and I was supposed to be getting paid for a project that I completed, but the person stopped paying me in combination with me getting mixed up with dangerous people. So I couldn't actually run away from this dangerous situation. I had no money to run away because this other guy stopped paying me. So I ended up being placed at a safe house by a crisis stabilization unit. And it was a federally funded program, and I couldn't smoke weed there. I had to be clean and sober. They breathalyzed me every week. I had to pee clean every single week. That's the reason that I stopped. And so, all that being said, I am really proud of myself for making it 2.5 years into my over that. I'm over 2.5 years clean and sober and in recovery, no slips. At the same time, it makes me like really sad to think about not. I mean, alcohol, like, I definitely had a drinking problem, and that's not something that I ever care to revisit. Like, it's hard for me to say that I'll never have another drink again. I can't say that because I have a drinking problem. Or I have a drinking problem, I had a drinking problem. I don't really know which one I prefer at this point, but in terms of the marijuana, it actually felt relieving to hear from my medical health professional that does my prescribing that I might be able to responsibly engage with marijuana again someday. That was a huge relief to me. I was like, "Oh, thank God," you know? But our agreement is that I won't be engaging in that type of behavior now. Like, I still have a lot of work to do. So I see some comments came in and I want to read them, but I just want to that's what I had to share with you. And I'm interested to see what you have to say. Like I said, I haven't made a decision on what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'd feel about it if I did engage with it again. I know that I'll have a pretty solid idea before I engage if I do, but it was like heavy on my chest. Like I had to get that out. So thank you for letting me share that. As Gonzo says, I get what she meant, Tara. I think so too. You've shown you can control yourself, not let the weed control you, especially in a state where weed is as easy to get as a cup of coffee. You know what, Gonzo? I think weed is easier to get than a cup of coffee here. And so is alcohol, but I could literally have it delivered to my door right now if I wanted. I don't think anywhere would deliver me coffee right now, but I could literally get the weed right now. Gonzo says, proud of you, Tara. You're a wonderful person. I appreciate that, Gonzo, and I appreciate you accepting what I just shared with you. Um, I don't feel any kind of judgment from you, and I really appreciate that. Slow-mo said, that's good that you know now is not the time, but that you have hope to be able to every now and then to be able to partake. Support you fully in your journey, Tara. Thanks, Slow-mo. I echo exactly what I just said to Gonzo. And again, I don't know what I'm going to do. The time clearly is not now. I don't know if it will be anytime soon. It could be years before my nurse practitioner says that, okay, if you want to go to the beach with a friend, you go to the beach with a friend, you know? We'll see how it all plays out. I'm not going to do anything rash. Casey says, I'm prescribed marijuana for pain and thought about ketamine. Now I'm intrigued. So glad you're sharing. And now that I'm prescribed, it makes me so paranoid. I don't know if it's the medical stuff or different types. Casey, I think any strain, based on what my therapist was telling me last week when I was having cravings, I think any strain of marijuana has potential to create paranoia. It does something to a certain part of the brain. I cannot recall which part of the brain that is, but I think it's worth being aware of what the potential is, uh, and knowing maybe what your other options are. So for me, when I'm having symptoms from medication, the best thing that I have found that I can do is to talk to my prescriber about it. You know, that's why I went and saw my nurse practitioner today, because cravings are not a good thing. And I cannot mess with my treatment like that right now. So I told on myself. I told her exactly what I was experiencing, not thinking that we were going to make any changes to my care, but she heard me, and we talked about other things too. You know, we talked about psilocybin and we talked about different forms of ketamine that I might be. We didn't just talk about marijuana the whole session, but what has worked for me is being completely honest with my prescriber about what I'm experiencing, and maybe they'll have some information just like what happened with me today that I was unaware of, that has really helped me. Casey says, "You're amazing. I'm proud of you too. Can't say I won't drink again either." I get what you're saying. Yeah, I can't. Casey, you can relate to this one. It's a mind bender to think about not drinking ever again. And we don't have to make that commitment. That's not what this is all about. This is about taking care of ourselves right now. Just like that intention that I'm setting for my next ketamine treatment, all we have to do is stay sober right now. Just today. Sometimes just for a minute, just one more minute, just like right now, that's all we need to focus on. Slow Mo says, sounds like she's hopeful that the ketamine treatment will truly help you to get to the level of being able to responsibly engage. Thanks so much for sharing with us. My pleasure, Slow Mo. Thanks for listening. Casey, I see an amazing person. Sober, you're doing great either way you go. Glad you shared. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do know that I'm going to be honest about it. You're welcome, Casey. Anne Marie, I think if you meditate on it, journal, and use whatever other tools you have, if and when you choose to use it, you'll do it reasonably. It sounds like you have a great healthcare provider. It's key. Anne Marie, I like to think that that's exactly correct. Like that I have done enough inner inner child work, if you will, over the past couple of years that I'm not going to allow myself to fall into old behaviors that I was in before, and that if I start to slip, like my nurse practitioner was telling me today that she found herself starting to slip at some point and she was smoking more than she felt comfortable with, and then you reel it in. That's the beauty of being an adult. We can make mistakes and then reel it in, make adjustments. So again, the time is not now, and I don't know if I will start smoking again, but I'll just be honest with you, the thought of partaking with people that I care about in a safe setting is so relieving to me. It makes me happy to think about doing that again, just responsibly. Slow Mo says, that's so great. You're able to be completely honest with your NP. Addiction hides in the dark. You're doing great in your recovery journey. Thank you, Slow Mo. A lot of people would disagree with that. A lot of people would be really concerned about my mental well being and my recovery. Um, like, I probably won't share what I just shared with you with a lot of people in my recovery circle because their thoughts on abstinence are so rigid, and I don't want them to judge me or try to talk me out of it or worry about me. So, I mean, I think eventually I'll feel comfortable and safe to share it with anybody and not give a rip what people think. Like, that's the ultimate goal, like, not give a rip. But right now, while I'm in this space of making my own decision for myself, I probably won't share it with everyone. Casey says, honesty is, or yeah, honest is the best. I'm having a glass of wine. I don't know if I should be, but thanks for letting me get that off my chest as I justify, it's not vodka. Casey, I appreciate you sharing that with us. I think I think it's wonderful that you feel safe to share that with us, just like I felt safe to share it with you. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not reaching for the vodka. Slomo says, yes, the NA and AA recovery culture has made people actually hide and possibly relapse more, in my humble opinion. Slomo, I agree with that. I think I understand the concept, like start your time over. And even I was even taught to not engage with people if they had relapsed. And in my also humble opinion, I think that's the worst possible thing. I think showing up for people unconditionally, regardless of whether they've engaged with a certain behavior or not. I mean, obviously, if they're a harm to you or a harm to other people, that's grounds for keeping your distance. Or for me, it would be grounds for me to keep my distance. But addiction is a disease just like cancer. And I can't imagine anybody saying that person has breast cancer, avoid them. That's just cool. Slomo says, thanks for sharing, Casey. Good to be honest. We're rooting for you in your recovery. Casey said, thanks. Yes, we are, Casey. Unconditional recovery is super important. I agree. I cannot understand, I cannot wrap my head around why organizations as large as Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous don't teach unconditional support. They're so behind in the times. It actually makes me very frustrated now that I've been through peer support training, because I have hurt people as a like I have broken ties with people in my first year of recovery because that's what my sponsor told me to do. And I know she was just teaching me what she was taught, but it's heartbreaking to think that I turned my back on people who needed me the most. Casey says, I can't do 12 step in the small area I live. They're so judgmental. Casey, I'm really sorry that you've had that experience. In my experience, some meetings are better than others. Some groups are better than others. Uh, I think women's meetings tend to be better. But again, I'm not suggesting that you engage with a 12-step group if it doesn't feel right or supportive enough to you. I think it's wonderful that you're here. And that's, I think, what you're finding and what I have found is that it's really refreshing to come up on a group of people who aren't judgmental and who can accept us defining recovery as we want to define it. That was a hard concept for me to get at first when I went through peer support specialist training, because I was so programmed and conditioned in the 12-step doctrine that no, recovery means that you're abstinent. But that's not true. Recovery is however you want to define it. Recovery is however I want to define it. So as I move through this journey, if I choose down the line, when my nurse practitioner gives me clearance to make that decision, we'll see what I do, but it's going to be my decision and I'm going to feel good about it. Casey says, I've tried over and over to find a sponsor. Not one person called me back ever. And that's throughout the years. Casey, I'm really sorry that you haven't been able to find a sponsor. Um, I'm just throwing this out there that I would be happy to connect with you. I have sponsored people before. I've worked the 12 steps, and I'm not trying to push the 12 steps on you at all, but I'm just offering an invitation. If you ever want to talk about recovery, whether it be 12 step based or not talking about the 12 steps at all, I'm so here with you. And you can email me. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. Anybody can email me. This isn't just for Casey, but if you want to, feel free to shoot me an email. And I want to say, I'm open to further correspondence. We could exchange phone numbers, but I'm not going to put my phone number in the chat right now. But you can email me, and then we can see if we're a good fit for one another to continue talking. Gonzo's in smart recovery. You know what, Gonzo? That's a method that I have not gone down. What's funny about that is I started Smart Recovery. I had started engaging with the community. And then when I was living at the safe house, the manager or the director of the safe house knocked on my door one day, came in my room, wanted to know what I was up to. And I told her I was starting Smart Recovery. And she's a big AA person. She's been in the program for 33 years. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing Smart Recovery." And she ended up inviting me to a meeting. And that's how I got started in AA. So I never actually got the ball rolling with Smart Recovery because I ended up going to AA. And I'll just say, like, I had a great experience in AA. My first year and a half was fantastic. Then I started to sort of I hesitate to say outgrow the program, but I started to have my own thoughts and my own questions and my own feelings, as a child does. As they grow up, you start to be independent and have your own feelings. And I just wasn't satisfied with some of the answers I was getting and some of the guidance I was getting. So I kind of walked away, kind of stepped away from the program and found myself in peer support specialist training. And that's where I learned that everybody has a right to define recovery for themselves. And I personally like that perspective so much more than a strict, rigid, abstinent based viewpoint. Tala, that's really, really sweet. I agree. This community does rock. I'm so thankful that I have the pleasure of connecting with all of you. It's I'm going to be redundant here, but it's always a pleasure. Casey says, I'm finding you guys are great. Or Gonzo just, I was going to say Gonzo just prescribed to Kingdom. Gonzo just subscribed to Tala's channel. I'm so looking forward. Tala, did you say when you're going to go live next? Maybe you did and I missed it or scrolled past it because I was trying to get caught up and I had to get that thing off my chest. And Casey says, I'm finding you guys are great and I can't thank God enough. Y'all don't judge. And I can say that just about anything, and it's helped me so much. Wish we could all meet in person. Casey, I also wish we could meet in person. And there have been numerous conversations about this very thing happening. And I think one day it will happen. It's just going to take someone to spearhead the thing. I don't know who that person's going to be. And I certainly am not going to make any commitments here on the spot out of impulse. But I do want to throw it out there that I was looking at tickets to Vegas, like the location of Vegas came up with me and another friend who we want to meet. We've never met. We talk daily and we've never met. Vegas came up because it's super central and it's very affordable to fly in and out of. So let me know in the chat. Slow-mo, you're here. Gonzo, you're here. Kingdom Within, I think you're still here. Let me know if Vegas you think would be a good location, or is there a different location that you think would be good for a meetup? And what would that location be? Gonzo needs a sponsor. So Gonzo, are there, forgive me for my ignorance, do you have sponsors in Smart Recovery, or it's like self-directed in Smart Recovery, I think, right? Gonzo, I can extend my peer support to you just as a, I don't know what to call it. Not a courtesy, but just like from like peer to peer, I'm happy to provide support to you. I think if you're looking for a sponsor in particular, and again, I don't know about Smart Recovery, but in 12-step, I mean, I know of men who sponsor women and women who sponsor men. I was taught, I'm conditioned, I'm brainwashed to think men sponsor men, women sponsor women. But my therapist, we were talking about me potentially getting a new sponsor, and she said, is there a woman or a man that you are thinking about or that you might consider asking to sponsor you? And we talked about that. If you want someone to support you to the process of finding a sponsor, you can feel free to email me too, just throwing it out there. No pressure at all to anybody. Anybody can email me at that address. Tala will let us know when you're going live, or Tala, will you let us know when you're going live? I don't get the notifications and want to be there, bro. Yeah, Tala, I feel the same way. Live stream starts in 2 minutes. Oh, shoot. Tala's live. Okay. Let me see if there's any comments that I want to get to. I want to wrap this up. I don't want to just abruptly stop, but I do want to go over to Tala's live stream. We're going to tag team this. I'm going to go through and see if there are any comments that are pertinent and that I need to get to. And I'm going to suggest that y'all go over to Tala's live stream now or after we end this, and I will be over there too. I think it'll be fun to hang out. So I'm just going to look at this and see. Okay, it's like AA, but for agnostics. Smart Recovery, that's interesting. Like SMART goals, Smart Recovery. Hey. Yeah, Slow-mo, I agree. It's great that they provide that place. Hey, Kimmy, welcome back. Vegas sounds dope. I wonder if it would be triggering for some. Yeah, I agree. But if we're in a group, you know what I mean? If we're in a group and not staying, yeah, that's true though. It could be triggering. Be easy for Gonzo. We'll have to talk about this more. When you said that about the meeting people, I got chills. I've never been to Vegas. Might be a huge trigger for me. And yeah, my man would never. That's understandable, Casey. Yeah, now that I didn't think about that. I'm like 2.5 years in and I'm not thinking about that as much. So I get that. Maybe Vegas wouldn't be the best place for that. Yeah, it can be tricky when a man and a woman sponsors each other. Didn't see your comment. Slow, me too. All right. So sorry I had to skip a couple comments tonight. If I skipped over something important, I really apologize. I'm going to try to get better at keeping up. Keeping up. So, Casey, to get to Tala's live stream, Tala is Kingdom Within. At, yeah, Kingdom Within on YouTube. So just, oh, here, I'll put a link in for you really quick. Let me get it for you. There's Kingdom with okay, got already okay, she got it. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank everyone for joining. If you're watching on the replay, what's up? I appreciate you watching. Trying to think of what else I want to say. I'll just say it has been a pleasure speaking with you as always. Head over to Tala's channel at Kingdom Within to hang out with us. I love you all very much, and I hope to talk with you soon.